it's just very exciting. Yeah, because I feel at the end of the day, it's very gratifying. And if we can help, why not? That's my goal. That, I just want to help in whatever way I can. And through writing, for me, my medium is writing.
Okay. Expressing by words.
And for somebody else, it could be something else.
Yeah.
So I think we just have to find that within ourselves, because that's what gets buried. And we all have that. We all have that thing, we just have to dig deep and find it. And a lot of times, God will give us that opportunity, but we don't take it.
Yeah.
Because we just don't understand what's going on. But I just tell everybody, when you see that happening, just grab the opportunity. Just help. And for me, that's my purpose. And I feel that both those incidents really helped me. And now I know exactly what I have to do in my life moving forward.
Hi Mona, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Long time? It's been a while since we met, right?
It's been a long time, but thank you so much for having me over in your beautiful studio. Thank you.
Thank you, Mona, for joining me today. And for me, when we met, it was many years ago. I was always, attracted by your sensitivity, always. And then I found out one time that you were writing a book. And that actually amazed me. I know you're a professional doctor. And I'm like, oh my God, what is the book about her field? Or maybe she is writing about the medical field. And what happened? Like, what is this journey? How did you evolve from being a professional doctor to becoming also an author?
So that's a question a lot of people have asked me. And in fact, even I asked this question to myself. So as a child, I always had this dream that I had to be a doctor. And like back home in India, we all had to be either a doctor or an engineer, right?
Yes.
So I chose doctor, and I just felt I had that in me. So I worked hard, and I became a doctor. Great. Professionally, great. But at the same time, one part of my personality was always very intuitive.
Okay.
I could just sit for hours and just think about a particular topic or a subject. And I still remember my dad used to always tell me, you're like a thinker. He used to call me, you're a thinker. And at that time, I thought, thinker. Thinker, I thought was like kind of a negative word. But as I got
or something, someone is thinking a lot.
Too much, right?
Yeah.
But then, of course, as I got older, I realized that it's a very strong word.
Okay.
So growing up, in India, I used to always take my paper, my pen, and my fruits. I love mangoes. I used to love oranges, and I used to just go upstairs, the terrace of the house, and I used to just sit and I used to just write. And honestly, Sanjana, I had no idea sometimes what I was writing, but I used to just write. And I was so young that time, and I somehow never shared it. I didn't have the guts to share that, and my dad especially, he knew that I was always writing. And he still talks about it. So that was like one part of it, what about me that I used to always write. And then, I of course grew up and, got married, came to the US, and just got caught in life and in the social element and professionally, all that stuff was going on.
Growing your family.
Children. But I never gave thought to my writing. That got buried somewhere.
Okay.
It just got buried. And I did not know myself that I had that capacity, that I had that talent, or if that's the right word, or that skill, that I could write. Or I could, because I never shared it. And it just got buried. Okay. And I had no clue where it went. So that's what happened. And the second part of the question you asked me, that how I started writing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I was in a situation where I was just running behind all, the wrong things in life. Yeah, I was doing really good professionally. Materialistically, we have everything. We have our cars, our closets are full, everything. But something was missing. Now, what was that? I couldn't figure it out.
Couldn't figure it out.
I just could not figure it out. And I think a lot of us have that problem. We don't know.
Yeah.
So 2017 is when I think when I had my accident, I got hit, and that was like a wake-up call for me.
Okay.
And I think there's always a good reason behind why things happen.
Okay.
I couldn't understand why that happened.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I have an accident. I could have lost my life. And I kept wondering, because I was home, I couldn't work. And I just kept wondering, why me? Why did I have the accident? What was the reason behind it?
Okay.
Why did God choose me to have that? There has to be something. A lot of people have accidents. I don't know if they have those questions, but I had like tons of questions.
Okay.
And my emotions were all over. It was like a roller coaster. That's when I picked up my pen again.
Okay.
One night, I was very disturbed. I just got up, and I have a small diary, which is still next to my bed.
Okay.
So whenever I get up at night, I'll just write it in that, my thoughts. So I pulled that out and I started writing.
Okay.
And then the next morning, I read that, and I'm like, wow. So I think that was the beginning for me, and that was it. And then I started writing and just writing and writing, and I decided that, what, I will just share my thoughts. Because we all get thoughts, right? I mean, before we sleep at night or during the day, we have millions of thoughts, but we choose not to acknowledge them.
Or express them.
Or express them, right? So then I just decided, I said, you know what, maybe this is a time for me to just start expressing. And I created my website, and I started just blogging.
Right.
So whatever used to come to my mind, I should just write that. Whether it's negative, whether it's positive, whether it's encouraging, anything. I just started writing, and I just started sharing it.
Okay.
I was a little scared that, people are going to start judging me. She's trying to get sympathy, all those kind of things. But I said, no, I'm just going to share it. It doesn't matter. And I felt happy that, I was sharing that. So that was one part to it.
Okay.
The second part, like how I wrote a book, a co-authored book, that was in 2019. When I had another wake-up call. I think I had too many wake-up calls. So
one was not enough. So
one was not enough, I think. I think God said, okay, one is not enough for her,
you
right?
need to do something
else. So the second one I just had, it was more, I would say, on an emotional level. It was more on a relationship level.
Okay.
And something went wrong. And again, I was very confused. I was like, what happened here? Sometimes, you have good intentions, but those intentions go haywire.
Yeah.
And you don't know why it happened. So again, I had millions of questions. And I'm like, again, why me? Why are people judging me? People have so many opinions. And I felt just very lonely. And being lonely is not fun. Because you just feel very alienated.
Yeah.
Right? So that happened. And then I just withdrew.
Okay.
And I became very silent. I could sense it, that I become very silent.
Okay.
I just wanted to be by myself.
Okay.
And again, the same questions. Why me? Why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
And then the biggest question that I had that time was, what is your purpose? Am I in this world just for like materialistic things, to get judged, to get to have opinions? All those things were going on, and I had to be alone. That's when I started working on myself.
Okay.
So for me, those 2 years from like 2019 to 2021 is when I wrote that book, the 2 chapters in the book, Rebirth. It gave me so much space. It gave me so much time to work on myself. And I think it was all that the self-love and the self-care was lacking. When you're focusing on all the wrong things and you're not taking care of yourself, then things go all wrong. And that's what was going on with me. And when I understood that part, that I have to work on myself and the world can wait, everything will be fine. That's when, you know, I thought seriously about my writing. I said,
so this is the book, right? And you said you wrote 2 chapters in this.
Yes.
So one of them is a silent soul. So is it relating to that, the quietness or the silence that you felt?
Yeah. So the 2 main people, the 2 main authors, you know, they are UK based. And I got in touch with them during COVID, actually. And so they had a very nice project, and the project was called as a healing book project, in which, you know, 7 women from all over the world, Spain, UK, I'm the only South Asian, we got together, and each woman had to share her experience. An experience like a trauma or anything that hurt them, something very significant in their life. So they've shared their experience in 1 chapter. And then the 2nd chapter is about how they came out of it and how they can benefit the readers. So it's all about words, because we believe that words are very healing. And 1 word can touch one's life. And you never know how it can strike the chord and help them. So that was the whole goal of the book. So I wrote the chapter, The Silent Soul, about my 2 experiences. The physical part, which was the accident, and the emotional one, where was in 2019. And then combined the 2, and I wrote about that. And then the 2nd chapter is the life experiences, in which, you know, I just wrote about, like, you know, how we can, if we have some traumatic experiences or some emotional experiences, how we can come out of that. So those 2 chapters, and every woman has done that. It's a really nice book. And because somewhere, you know, you will find some connect. And then again, like I said before, you never know which word or what line can help you. And
Because
help you transform.
reading the words from other people's experiences, it might help someone who's in a similar situation.
Absolutely.
Right? Because sometimes it's hard to share, right? So this is...
So there is a fear of judgment, I feel. Because we live with insecurities, and we just worry as to what the other person will think about me, you know, if I share my experience. So if you read somebody else's, you know, you can be in a comfortable spot. And that's what this book is all about, you know. And Rebirth is basically transformation. You know,
in the same life.
In the same
You're
life,
transforming.
you know, So like in my case, I feel, you know, that what I was, what the Monica was a few years back, and what I'm right now, I know had changed, and I'm still changing, you know. It's a journey. It doesn't stop. So it's not that, okay, I'm done now, you know, I don't want to write anymore and I have a book in my hand, no more. No, that's not what I want to do. I still want to keep writing, because I know that words can help. I know that for sure, because professionally I know I see patients all day long, and you know, I know I'm helping, and it's very gratifying. But the second aspect is, you know, in which besides my profession, I want to do something by my words, and that's what the writing does. You know, that's what it helps me, and I hope it helps others too.
And it also and you know, healing that, you know, happens when you are basically, you said it's healing you also, right? So in a way, you know, we all get hurt in different phases or different experiences we all have, and this might help someone who is going through something. Could be a broken heart, or, you know, something like, you know, injury, or Any
Could be
sort of
anything,
trauma.
yeah, right. Physical,
So-
mental, emotional, so many
There's
aspects.
so many, yeah.
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 So that's the whole idea about this book, and it's just very exciting. Yeah, because I feel at the end of the day, it's very gratifying, and if we can help, why not? That's my goal. That
Yeah.
I just want to help in whatever way I can, and through writing. For me, my medium is writing.
Okay. Expressing by
Yeah.
words.
And for somebody else, it could be something else.
Yeah.
So I think we just have to find that within ourselves, because that's what gets buried. And we all have that. We all have that thing, we just have to dig deep and find it. And a lot of times, God will give us that opportunity, but we don't take it
Yeah.
because we just don't understand what's going on. But I just tell everybody, when you see that happening, just grab the opportunity.
Yeah.
Just help. And for me, that's my purpose. And I feel that both those incidents really helped me. And now I know exactly what I have to do with my life moving forward,
All
So
right.
that's my...
So the clarity came
The
along.
clarity came. So my clarity came along with silence, actually. So I had to
That's just
cut
the
myself
silent
out.
soul, right?
Yeah, I had to cut myself out, because again, being silent can be negative for some people, right? But for me, it had such a positive impact. And I'm so thankful about that, because those 2 years when I went completely inside, I understood myself. I understood my thoughts, I understood my mentality, I understood why I'm here. And then, I just came out like that. So,
And you talked about
That's-
you are writing another book also right now, which is a little bit. Just give me a brief
Yeah.
intro. Like, is it related to this similar topic or?
it's called actually Quote Cafe.
Okay.
Thoughts in a Cup. That's the
Okay.
name of the book.
Okay.
And I was supposed to actually release that last year, but I kind of fell back, so I couldn't do it. So I'm working on that, and it basically has the same chapter, but I've elaborated that.
Okay.
But I've added a lot of quotes, a lot of affirmations, a lot of short poems in that, and it's a lot more.
Okay.
And I am working on that, and it's already in designing for Kindle and everything. So I'm fingers crossed. I'm really hoping it will be out in summer, and I'm excited about that too.
So similar topic about self-realization, about how we deal with situations.
It's all about mindfulness
Okay.
and self-care, because self-care is very important. Self-love is very important.
Okay.
This is what I realized, that if you don't, accept yourself, nobody else will.
Okay.
So that self-acceptance and that self-love is so important. And the day you realize that, and the day you learn that, it's so much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So that second book is about that also, but a lot of other quotes and affirmations in that.
Okay.
So when it's out, definitely you will see it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm
Look
very, very
forward
excited
to
about
that.
it.
So
Of
that
course.
is authored just by you.
That's my baby.
That's your.
Totally mine, yeah.
Okay.
Totally
Well,
mine.
I look
yeah.
forward to reading that.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me,
Thank you.
Mona.
Thank you
It's a
so
great
much.
time talking and listening.
Thank you for having me over. It was a
Yeah.
pleasure, my pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you wanna talk about anything at all, then you know who to call. Just tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Just tell Sanjana.